welcome to our Future Leader Academy common room. This is where the magic happens with the Year 12 and Year 13 students. I am going to introduce a guest from Maybex, which is the education consultants that we work with to ensure that your children go to top universities and ensure that they secure those placements. Miss Niani is going to talk to us today about the pathway post IGCSE, because I know parents have a real big concern about what does my child do next. So Miss Niani has kindly come in from Maybex, and she's going to deliver the different options, because I always say to my students, and I will say to parents, making informed decisions is a top priority, something that I got taught at Oxford University myself. So we're going to discuss and look at the options, and then I will share some information about how we have devised a very impactful program at the Future Leaders Academy to ensure that children are succeeding. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Ms. Niani. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Niani, I'm from Maybex. So today we're talking about what your kids should study after IGCSE. So most of you, maybe your kids do not know what they want to study yet, I think, or do they know what they want to study? Still unsure. Still unsure, I think? Okay. So some of the questions for what they should think about at least first, right, while they are in this sort of 16, 17-year-old mind, is what do they see themselves doing in the future? And where do they need to go to achieve this as well? So it's like a more of a backward thinking. So you see what they want and then you go backwards. And in that sense, you get to figure out a timeline for them as well. So, and what do they need to start doing? So what do they need to start doing? Different courses have different preparation that's needed, right? So that's why we all start to think about this first, and how much it will cost, because education is expensive. And also looking at their past academic records and see where they are actually at, and to have a more manageable expectation in that sense as well. Yeah. So some of the pre-university options that are available in Malaysia is A-levels, foundations, Australian matriculation, Canadian, American degree programs, and diploma programs. And they all vary by years. So A-levels is typically 1.5 years to 2 years. Foundation is about 1 year. The AusMed and the Canadian Med is also about 1+-ish. And the American degree program is 1 to 3 years, and diploma is 2 to 3 years. Okay. So timeline-wise, this is what you will need to think about for pre-university. Okay, so coming into A-levels, so it was introduced in 1941 as a standardized school certificate, right? And there are two main boards in Malaysia, which is the Cambridge International Education and Pearson edXL. Okay, it is 100% exam based, so if your kid is someone who can't focus during like a normal day, but they do very well in exams, A-levels is good. They can at least cram through and get through it. And it is divided into two parts, AS and E2. So based on your AS, you will actually know how much you need to improve for your E2 as well. And usually students take about 3 to 4 subjects, and that is the typical requirement for universities as well. It's usually 3 subjects, 3 A-level subjects. And the final exams are taken in either October, November, or May, June. So the A-levels, the timing of it fits really well for UK universities as well. So it is designed in that way. So A-levels, essential to pursue particular degrees and entry to competitive universities. So like Oxford, Cambridge is 3 subjects as well, but 2 to 3 A stars, and wider options in terms of courses that students can be prepared and study for as well. So they take 3 core modules, like core subjects like maths, further maths, maybe biology. They can branch out into different areas as well. Wider recognition that's not tied to a university or country. So majority of the countries where higher education destinations, they all recognize A-levels. So it is, if you want to go anywhere, you can do A-levels. So examples are Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Yeah. So if you're not sure where you want to send your kid yet, to just think about it first, then A levels will be a better choice. Moving on, we have foundation programs. So foundation programs are typically provided by the university. So what it means is also that if you have a specific university that you already know you want to go to, then maybe foundation would be great. But if you go there and you choose to go to a different university, that is a risk, because the foundation is tailored by the university for their courses, right? So a different university may not accept another's foundation course because it's not tailored accordingly. So it's a case-to-case basis type of thing. So yeah. So some universities, they have their own in-house foundations, but not all. Like maybe 3, 4, 5 of them in the whole of UK. And pathway providers like Into Study Group, they work with the universities for foundations, and some of the independent colleges as well. Students are streamed into a broader group, so it's not as streamlined as A levels where you pick 3 subjects. With foundations, it's very broad. You learn more than you need to for a specific course. So usually it's streamlined into like science and engineering or arts and business. So it's like streams. And then it is mostly also via examinations as well. So the pros and cons of foundation programs is 9 months to 1 year. So typically for competitive universities, they actually want at least 1.5 years to 2 years of pre-university. They actually need to see this. And foundations, what actually happens when an IGCSE student take it is they are underage. So it's a more of a hassle thing as well. Yeah. So the subjects are relevant to the degree studies, and a small class size as well. Strong pastoral support, which is also available in schools. And it is a limited option in terms of progression. If you do change your mind, you're kind of stuck. And then it can be tied to a specific university, and not all foundation programs accept IGCSE. Some of them, they want at least AS level, then only you do foundation. And it's high cost as well, depending on where you study, because you'll be studying at the university already. So it's additional year of living costs and tuition fees as well. So Australian matriculation. So some of the 3 popular programs of AUSMAT in Malaysia is SACE, South Australian Certificate of Education, AUSMAT, and the New South Wales High School Certificate. If you're sure that Australia is a destination, could be a potential choice. It is a year 12 qualification, so it's still 1 year pre-university. A choice of 5 subjects with English language as a compulsory subject. It is academic focused with emphasis on developing skills through creativity and problem solving. Okay. And the Canadian matriculation is similar as well. It is Canadian, and it is done by the Ministry of Education and Training of the Ontario Province. And students must complete about 6 subjects, including English and external literacy test, and 10 approved hours of community service. So the pros and cons. So again, it's typically 1 year, depending on when you start. Assessment coursework is 50-50 or 70-30. So if they can't manage time very well, and the coursework and all, their grades will tank a bit more. It is a cumulative CGPA thing. And then it has multiple intakes, slightly lower cost, but it is only for Australia or Canada, depending. So again, if you're unsure, not the best choice. Very high requirements for UK. So if you were to use this matriculation qualification for UK universities, for example, if a course is 3 A's and 3 requirement, your Canadian and AUSMAT, your grade needs to be like 90, 91. So it's quite high in that sense. And again, it's also a case-to-case basis. Most universities, when you have a matriculation program from Australia or Canada, it's a case-to-case thing where they need to see whether it matches or not. And some of them, they don't even publish information whether it's accepted as well. So it's a very unless you know a destination, okay. Diploma program. So this is a alternative program where it's a standalone qualification that's for 2 years, And if you do a diploma, you need to do a top-up degree. And again, that's also a case-to-case basis. Not every universities offer top-up degrees, an additional 1 year for you to get a full-fledged degree. So some students do think that, okay, let me do a diploma, and then I'll go to the UK for 1 year or 2 years to finish up the degree. Case-to-case basis, higher-ranking universities and competitive universities do not accept diploma. It's not their thing, unfortunately. So that's that. Top-up degrees do exist, but it exists on the more mid-tier, lower-ranking universities, not the high ones. If you're aiming for Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, not the best choice. So lower entry requirements, there are opportunities for internships, preparation for the job market. There is a bit of value for money. However, it does lack academic preparation for competitive degrees and universities, and has limited options. So you don't get to have that option to explore your choices once you do a diploma. Okay, so that is the courses, the programs. Does anyone have any questions on the qualifications? Any clarification that you need before I go and say how we work with 3KZU with helping your kids into great universities? So we have the pre-application counseling where we do advise students on UK universities, what you need to do, how to get there, what you need to prepare for, and how to prepare. So part of our pre-application services, we have BEAM, which is for Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, Warwick, LSE. They have to do admission tests. So we do provide workshops, seminars, how to prepare. We hire external tutors who are from Oxford, Cambridge to do those sessions as well. So they are there, they have graduated, they are helping students. And then we also provide guidance on writing personal statements as well. And on top of that, if top universities is not the goal, then we also have SCAPE, which is a super curricular activity.
Area 7A, discovery section. That's Surya from 9E. Area from 7A to reception, please. Thank you.
So SCAPE. So SCAPE is a super curricular activity program that we have designed at Maybax, where it's a platform for students to explore what they are interested in without any sort of facing consequences. So there's no stress in that sense. They get to explore talks from different universities, subjects. So it's usually taster lectures from UK universities that we work with as well. So we have some interesting talks, and some students actually did find what they want to study. So that's that. And we also personal statement guidance, and we do checking. We also give feedback as well. And on top of that, after the application, what we also do is we monitor the progress of your kids' applications to make sure everything's correct, everything's in order, whether they're meeting deadlines to submit documents. They never check their emails, right? So we do that part for them. And then we also do an intermediary role between the universities. So if there's any problems that students are facing, for example, like usually during visa season, CAS issuance and things like that, we provide that thing where we ask the user, hey, where's this? Why is the student meeting? So we do that, and we also have university placement through clearing. So in case they do miss their grades, we will still get them to where they need to go as well, or where it's available. And advice and assistance on visa application. So it is usually the most anxiety-ridden part of the whole process. So we are there to help you as well. And we do talk to parents. You can always communicate with us, and we are happy to help. And pre-departure debriefings. So what you need to bring, how to get there, all of it. So these are the services that we do for students and for students at 3KDU. And it's free of charge.
Thank you very much. So Ms. Nyani has just walked you parents through the post-16 pathway. So this is after your students complete their GCSE qualifications, there are all the options. And I just want to highlight, as Ms. Nyani has said, that if you are thinking of making an application to any international university, and I think with parents being in an international environment, I think majority of parents, like myself as a parent, would want their children to, potentially progress onto an international university, then that A-level qualification is really, really crucial. And that's, the golden standard. I do quite a lot of research, and, again, university lecturers always come back and say to us as educators that students with A-level qualifications are the best prepared for university education. And all of us that have been to university know it's difficult. So we're wanting to ensure that our children have the best foundations. If we could just give Ms. Nayani a big round of applause, and then I will open up. And so with that said parents, I'm going to now talk about what we are doing at Sri KDU Subang Jaya, and hopefully we will together collaborate, and we will get your children to where they want to be. Hopefully my subtitles are working, because I have put on some subtitles as well, because I know that some parents may not understand my awkward English accent. Okay, so welcome to the Future Leaders Academy. This is the common room for all of the A-level students. I just want to share this with you, so any political, any fans of British politics will know that Prime Minister Tony Blair, when he first came into office, he said, what is the priority of his government? And it was education, education, education. I also agree with him, because my priority here as head of the Future Leader Academy is education, 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 and ensuring that your child has a successful future ahead. So we last year launched the Future Leader Academy, and what we were envisaging is that actually we want to create an environment and a program that is preparing your students and your children, our students, for the future. Actually, a lot of research now is saying that there's a lot of jobs that are going to be extinct, like dinosaurs, in the next 10 to 15 years, which is actually quite worrying. When I spoke to my year 13 students, they said, wow, miss, this is quite a big statistic. Actually, it's 350 million jobs may become extinct by 2050. But we need to make sure that our children are prepared and they are future ready. And this is what we are doing at the Future Leaders Academy. A little bit about myself. I'm an Oxford University graduate. I specialised in education. That was my research, that was my master's, that's my passion, that's my purpose, is to make sure that the children of the next generation are future-proof and future-ready. I'm very privileged to say that I have a great A-level team of teachers as well. As you can see, we have some old faces, we have some new faces as well, and our educators are ready to work with me and collaborate with me, as well as yourself as parents and the students, to ensure that we have the top academic outcomes that are required to open the doors for those top universities. I'm just going to go through this quite briefly. Why A-levels? As you know from Ms. Nyani, that it is the golden standard and it's the golden qualification that will allow your child to go anywhere in the world. Maybe even Mars, if Elon Musk builds a university on there, which could be a possibility. Okay, it's worldwide. It's recognized everywhere in the world. I had students that went to China last year and they got in with the A-level qualification, right? Foundations and all other diplomas do not offer the depth of A-level. Now, when we go to university, we require depth of knowledge. We're studying engineering, you're going to be looking at things in depth, not breadth. So the A-levels are really preparing them. VUCA, this is something that I always quiz my students on, so I'm going to quiz parents as well. Does anyone know what VUCA stands for? Okay, first one is volatility. Markets now are volatile. Volatility is something that we are experiencing. U is uncertainty. Post-COVID-19, times are uncertain. We did not know 20 years ago that we would be faced with this. C. Does anyone know or could guess what C is? Yes, changes, competition, changes. There's changes, constant changes happening in the environment. A, does anyone know what A is for? No, ambiguity, because we don't know what the changes are. So this is something that I am preparing the students for. Actually, there is going to be volatility, there are going to be uncertain times ahead, there is going to be changes in industry, as we all know. I know from when I was 10 years old, there was no such thing as Facebook, the internet. I'm that old. Yes, I am that old. We didn't have the internet, and things have changed and evolved. So, to guarantee that our students are prepared for the future, this A-level qualification actually does provide them with the knowledge, the critical thinking, the reasoning, the communication, the collaboration, and the analysis skills for them to be able to maneuver. Now, all parents ask me this question. They say, Miss Sundas, how long is this qualification? I said, listen, Rome was not built in one day, okay? It takes time to build the skills and competencies that you need to go to university. We offer 2 programs. We offer the 18-month program, so it's January until summer of the following year. Okay, and that's for SPM students, because I know some of our students are SPM graduates that come into the program. But for any student that's doing the IGCSEs, that is the 2-year A-level program, okay, which starts in August and it runs for the 2 years, and they graduate 2 summers after they start. I hope that makes sense. Okay, it's split into 2 years. Now, not all colleges, sixth forms offer this, but I do. Because I know that when I put my applications in for university, if a child has a qualification at AS level, which is an exam qualification certificate that they get at the end of their first year, if I'm predicting a child an A star and they have achieved an A, every university is going to know that my predictions are credible. Okay? Universities actually secretly prefer the AS and A2 level, the 2-year program. They prefer that so that they have evidence, because universities are evidence-based research institutions. They want to see the evidence, and it shows the development and growth of the child as well, and it gives also a safety blanket. If they do the 2-year program, at the end of the first year, if things don't work out and they don't get the desired grades, they have the option to resit in the October-November series. Whereas places that offer the linear program, you have to do all exams for your 3 to 4 subjects at the end. If you pass, great. If you fail, that's 18 months gone, 2 years gone. You'll have to repeat the whole year. Whereas in the 2-year AS A2 program, you have a safety blanket as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I understand that some of the reputable universities may not recognize the AS level.
All universities recognize AS because it's half of your A level.
The admission part would be a problem.
So you cannot apply to any university without a full A level qualification. But the AS level, which is the first year of the 2-year program, really helps to solidify the predicted grades that we are going to give to universities to say, yes, this student is on track for an A star and an A. Whereas if you don't have the evidence, then it's okay to predict 3 A stars, but universities want to see evidence. So the 2-year program where they do, first year they do some exams which contribute towards their overall grade in the second year. Does that make sense to you? So I always say this AS-A2 2-year program is the best one to do. And all universities, I just want to say this clearly, an AS qualification will not allow you to get into any undergraduate degree. You have to have the full A-level qualification. But the AS gives you some understanding of the competencies and how much knowledge the student has halfway through the program. So my option, the recommended option, is the 2-year program. These are some subjects, parents, that we are offering. We are also offering some more subjects like digital media design. Sorry, I think I'm in some of your ways. But these are typical subjects that students are really keen to study. And we have seen actually that the arts, the music, and this year we're offering art and music, it's becoming more popular. And we are therefore encouraging students to really explore those non-scientific pathways as well. So why is it really important for me to ensure that your child is future ready? Well, this is why, because I always say to my students, and I will say this to parents as well, I would like your child and you as a family to think about where you want your child to be in 10 years. What do they need to get there? Right? And who can tell them more about it, and who can help them to get there? And here is VUCA, complex changes. Okay, so this is why, it's because of this research, and I am obsessed with research in education, and research is saying to us that actually we need to prepare the next generation for these changes and ambiguity and complexities. And I will show you a report in just a second of the changes of the dynamics of economics and industry. There's going to be big changes, so we've got to ensure that they are future ready. Adaptability is really important, and technology is also really important, and that is a part of the program that we have created for the A-level students here. And this is a report. For those of you that know McKinsey and Company, it's a big consultancy firm, and I'm really sorry for those of you that can't see, but as you can see over here, we've got a displacement of 375 million jobs. However, good news, parents, we have 800 million jobs being replaced. So actually there's going to be big changes ahead. And someone recently said to me, oh, well, are doctors and lawyers and accountants and engineers going to be, out of jobs? And I said, I don't know. That is the question. I don't know. I actually don't know. And it's down to the VUCA. I'll just let you absorb that for 1 minute. For those analytical and mathematicians of the group that love data, but here it is, and it's something for us to prepare the next generation for. And this is something that I really prepare my students for, and I am very lucky today because I have 2 of our most competitive A-level students sat across. I'm going to embarrass them a little bit later because they're going to do a Q&A session with you, but they are both going for head girl position tomorrow, so they're doing they've done a campaign, but I always say to them, your qualifications is going to get you the interview, right? It's the skills and the personality and the person you are that will get you the job. So we're really interested in developing them holistically, getting those top academic outcomes, but holistic character development, and I'm talking about authenticity and integrity, because they are things that actually Oxford University and Cambridge University and Harvard and MIT and top institutions are looking for. They want integrity, they want passion, they want purpose, and these are the things we're trying to create and develop in our students. So, top academic outcomes, our first thing. We, year upon year upon year, parents get outstanding A-level and AS-level results. We this year have got 100% of our students into their first or second choice of university. It was fantastic. Every single one of them got their first or second choice, which is really outstanding. Again, year upon year, we're getting 77 or 50 to 60% of our cohort get A's and A stars, which is the first step to ensuring that they are going to their universities. Again, our AS level results as well are phenomenal and fantastic. So our A-level teams are working really hard with your children to ensure that those top academic outcomes are achieved. And I'm just going to share this data of just how top we are globally. The UK average, Ofcol is a body that regulates all of the examination results in the UK. So Ofcol has presented reports and they've said about 75.4% of students in England are getting A star to C grades. We are way above, really way above those British students. I always say, coming from Britain and an educator in England, Malaysian students are top students. They are no better than Singaporean students. I do have a Singaporean student right there and she can hear me. Malaysian students are just as good as Singaporean students, let me tell you, I've worked with both. But what we lack in Malaysia is that confidence and the skills of interview. And Oxford and Cambridge have actually published this data to us directly, which is one thing we are really working on this year. And Mabex and us work collaboratively on this. So, just to give you some statistics of our ambitious students in the Future Leaders Academy, 33% of them each year want to go to Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, Harvard, Peking, NUS. They are ambitious students that come to our academy. And I'm very proud to say that actually 10% of our students in the last couple of years have accepted offers from Oxford University. And they've gone to 80% have received offers from the top universities globally. Just to add a cherry on the cake, parents, this year I've had students receive 80 to 100% scholarship for some of these top universities, which is really incredible. But I also want to share some fun things about our program before I really introduce you as to how we develop those skills and how we prepare students to go into engineering, technology, science, the arts, music, and I will share that with you. But these are some of the top UK, US, Malaysia, Australia, Singapore, Netherlands universities that over the last 5 years our students have gone on to graduate into. And I just want to say, when I speak to students, they say, yes, miss, we want top academic outcomes, but we want to have fun. We want to have a nice common room. We want to have flexible learning hours. We want to have no uniform. Okay, so I'm here to tell parents that I work collaboratively with the children here. And they're not children, they're young adults. So they are given that freedom and flexibility. Just to let you know, the common room that you are sat in, this is their common space. They do also have a little movie room coming up for them. We have wonderful spinning rooms, fitness suites, we have a yoga suite, a dance studio. Yes, they can use Grab. That is the first thing they do. Grab! We can Grab to school. Yes, you can Grab. They have free parking, and they don't have to wear the uniform. They are treated as young adults, and in 2 years' time they are going to go to university. They need to start preparing. They need to start developing those skills that are required to become successful individuals within the disciplines they choose. So, what is the advantage then of the Future Leader Academy? So we provide the support of the school-based environment, but we provide the flexibility of the university/college life. So we have a balance. And that's really important, because when you are studying an A-level, and I did 4 A-levels 25 years ago, yes, calculate my age, I needed that support and structure. I have been through this program. I know the ins and outs of this program. And it's a difficult program, but if you have the right support, that is how you will succeed. So our lovely, lovely, lovely program in 3KDU really ensures that the students are getting a lot of support while studying the A-levels. They get a lot of one-to-one support from the teacher. In a college where there's 1,000 A-level students, you are not going to get the same support of 1 in 20 or 1 in 25. So our ratio maximum is 1 to 25. There will not be more than 25 students in that A-level class, which means there's personalised support. When I went to Oxford University, ladies and gentlemen, I had 2 students in my class. It was great. I got such support. So we are doing that here. We are creating small class sizes, personalised support. We have a seamless transition. So at the end of the IGCSEs, they actually come and experience. And actually, we are now moving this into term 1. So all year 11 students, after their mock exams, they will have an experience of what life is like as an A-level, so they're transitioning early. We really are trying to empower the future leaders. This year we have shaken hands with Flip internships to provide outstanding internships, and all students in our Future Leader Academy, they will, at the end of their examination term in year 12 and year 13, they will go on a 2-week internship placement. It's built into the program. Why is that important? So they're exposed to the workplace and industry early, so they're developing that sense of confidence that we can work with adults, that we can go into industry and we can talk and collaborate. Last year, I had one student who won an internship. He did an internship at IMU for 6 weeks, and from that, he's going on to study business management at Sunway University. However, he's also secured a paid internship at Nestle, which is a big multinational company, and it was because of the internship he did last year. And he was so forever grateful. So we offer these opportunities. We have very strong collaborations and networks with BMCC. We've just collaborated on a sustainability drive for the whole of Malaysia. That includes collaboration with the Cambridge University, which is is one of the top institutions for sustainability. We collaborate with them. I know we have a parent that actually took on one of our wonderful A-level students and delivered an amazing internship. But all of our students are exposed to and given those opportunities of networking. We also have strategic partnerships with Mavex, Unifrog and Flip interns. And in a couple of weeks, parents, Flip will come in and deliver an actual workshop for parents on these internships. So this is part and parcel of the program that your children are exposed to, and it's about developing those skills and giving them those competencies before they go on to university. And we have lots of enrichment programs to ensure that they are future-proof. And some of our students have volunteered kindly to talk to parents about this. So what are the pathways then? So doing research, we have collaborated with specialists, and a lot of consultants and firms have said that actually there's 5 to 6 pathways that are going to be really, really significant in industry over the next 50 years. Integrative health sciences, entrepreneurship, innovation and creation, smart infrastructure, emerging technology, sustainability, engineering, and then international relations, global citizenship. So these are the pathways that your child is put on. So it starts from year 11. I'm going to talk to you more about each and individual pathway and how we actually curate that program for the individual. So for example, my daughter, not there yet, she wants to do medicine in the future. The first thing that we will do is put her into the A-level subject pathway for medicine. Okay, so she has to do chemistry, biology. That is a compulsory component of becoming a doctor. And then with the subjects such as physics, maths, that complement those skills and are going to really help to develop the skills that are required for, let's say, a doctor. First of all, we map the subjects to the actual career pathway. We also then, halfway through their A-levels, at year 12, after their exams, we place them into an internship. Now, a lot of my students that apply for medicine, Touchwood, 100% get their offers, because not only are they lucky enough to have their head of the academy that has worked in a medical school in England, but we are creating that pathway for them, and that includes an internship that's relevant to the degree that they wish to study. Students have gone to IMU, they've gone to CBS, Sunway, Pantai, Thompson's. These are big companies that collaborate with us, ladies and gentlemen, and they allow our students to go and do those important internships. We give them targeted workshops. So each week, myself and Maybex, professors from Warwick to UCL to Cambridge to Oxford to Australian Melbourne universities, they come in and they speak to our students and they do collaborative workshops with them on different specialist subjects. So they have that tailored, targeted workshop for them. We provide a lot of leadership opportunities for the students as well, and we also get them to collaborate. So for example, last year we had a very big medical conference, but it wasn't just IMU that we were collaborating with. We were collaborating with 50 schools across Malaysia, and students were interacting and engaging and collaborating. And I'm so proud to say that it was our students that led that medical conference of over 500 plus guests. And it was fantastic to see the success. And this type of achievement at 17 years old is phenomenal. And I think a lot of us would agree here that probably even in our careers, we may or may not have achieved to run a successful conference of 500 delegates on such a scale. And these are 16, 17-year-olds that are being given those leadership opportunities. We have specialist mentors. Because I'm a part of the Oxbridge Malaysian Society, for every career pathway we have a mentor. Right now, of our A-level students, every one of them has a mentor from Oxford or Cambridge or the university they wish to go to that's guiding them throughout the 2 years and helping them with their applications. This is something phenomenal. This is something really, really special that we offer here. We have tailored university support, and our destinations are fantastic. And from this, we are ensuring that the students have the necessary exposure, the leadership skills, and the top academic outcomes to go on to succeed in their next education journey. And we do this, ladies and gentlemen, for engineering or any related careers. We do this again for any technology-based career. So last year we were quite fortunate. We had AirAsia, we had XCL Malaysia, as well as Astra, which is a big company that were taking in our students. And again, we ensure that they have all of these opportunities within the program to make sure that that application is full and it's relevant and it has purpose. So when my students' applications go to the universities say, yes, 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 yes. This student has shown a clear interest and has a pathway that has led up to them wanting to do medicine, engineering, AI, data, mathematics, etc. And we do this for all of the careers that our students show interest in. I know I'm going to embarrass Miss Penny over here. She is a fabulous lawyer, and one of our students who happens to be making an Oxbridge application this year for international relations and politics, has had the good fortune of working with such experts. And when she's writing her personal statement, it's reflective. She can talk about those tiny little investigative research, or she can talk about the passion and the interest that she had when she was exploring a particular part of law that was related to history, that was related to the politics. They can talk about them with conviction, with authenticity. And that is the key, ladies and gentlemen. We have to ensure that the students are given those opportunities and are doing those things so that they can talk about them authentically in an interview. Can I just have a quick pause? How many of you here hire staff for your companies? Majority of you hire people for your companies. I think majority of us have had the experience of hiring staff. I think we know that when we see someone that's passionate, straight away they can talk about it enthusiastically. So that is what I'm providing for the students. Find their passion, and then we help to build that pathway for them, so that when they go in front of those top universities, our top employers, they can talk about it passionately and authentically, which is something that I'm really, when I see my students talk about their experiences or their leadership opportunities, they talk about it so passionately, and it's really invigorating to see. Again, we do this for many different pathways. Student enrichment then, here we go. Here are some professors and some real experts in industry that come and actually do workshops on engineering. So our students here last year, they were working with engineering and AI to devise a particular model. They were looking at modeling in engineering. And when the student puts this in their personal statement or university application, it's authentic. They can talk about it authentically because they've been experiencing these things from an early age. Again, I don't know if you know Mr. Tony Poir, who's one of our quite rather controversial mentors, but he did law, jurisprudence at Oxford University, and every law student that I have had from 2020 always wants to talk to Tony because he gives them such great advice and support. And it's not just Tony, we have many mentors from many different industries, professionals that are actually supporting our students. And just to let parents know that it doesn't just start in year 12. From year 11, they will be offered, year 11 students are offered one-to-one career mentoring. We have universities coming in, we will have that in around November time, to come and speak to students and parents. We will have an open day in November, parents, just to put on your radar. We will send out further information, scholarship awards and applications, as well as experiencing what those subjects offer. Parents and students will be invited in, and you will get to have tasters, and you will get to experience what it's like to study maths or further maths or digital media studies, which is another popular one. When they go into year 12, majority of my year 12 students now have 5 universities they have isolated that they would wish to go to, and they know their career pathway. And I can just tell you, The reason why my students are successful is because they are focused and they have a purpose, and that's something that we really help to create here. And these are all of the events. We have IELTS. So a lot of students, parents ask me, Miss Sundas, why are IELTS so important? Well, I'm here to tell you that the visa requirement for any Malaysian or non-Malaysian citizen, the visa requirement is the IELTS qualification, not the IGCSE in English language, first language, yes. They want the IELTS qualification. Even with an IGCSE first language at A star, you have to get the IELTS. And guess what, parents? This year, for the whole year, I'm offering IELTS training. We have an IELTS teacher who actually will week by week prepare the students so that when they are applying for the IELTS and they're sitting the assessment, they will be ready. Okay? But this is a visa requirement. Maybex will also echo what I'm saying. It is a requirement. So we provide all of this, and not only that, we work with Maybex, we work with Flip, and we are providing those opportunities for admissions tests, for personalised support with personal statements to ensure that those applications are successful. I don't know if many of you know this saying, but I think you will. But if you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. That is a simple philosophy. We are preparing the students very early, and that is the key to success. We have scholarship fairs as well that Maybex actually collaborate with us, so it's good news for parents. You don't have to pay 100% of the tuition fees. There are scholarships available for international students, Malaysian and non-Malaysian students. Maybex, we collaborate with Maybex and they offer that support as well, which is fabulous. And here are some highlights of what our wonderful students actually have curated. They've presented national conferences, they have worked on national and international projects, and you know, they have devised this and they've gone on and actually been accepted onto top universities, and actually it's so wonderful to hear when the university says, oh, Street KDU students are fantastic. Thank you so much for sending them, because they're well prepared for that A-level and post-18 journey. We have coaching and mentoring where and this year I will be reaching out to parent community and say, hey, come on in, come to our academy and sit with let's have a coffee and chat. When I was at university, my tutors would have drinks and coffees with me, and we would have this mentorship, and it's really, really amazing. My year 13s actually mentor the first year A-level students. So I map, if anyone wants to do engineering, we have an academic family. We call them mummies and daddies. And they have the year 12s as their babies. And this is moving to year 11 as well. So the year 12 students now, in the next couple of months, they're going to be mentoring year 11s. So we are providing that mentorship internally, in-house as well. But we also collaborate with experts. Year 13 is a very important year, parents. It's all admissions test, applications, interviews. These are things that I'm preparing 1 year in advance with them, because you have to prepare early. And coaching is really, really important. So I'm very lucky to have lots and lots of coaches that actually really want to work with the students and are really helping to maximize their potential. Again, we have weekly career and leadership lectures. You know, we've had some amazing, amazing professionals come in to talk to our students. And UCAS, again, these are big decisions, but we collaborate with Maybex and we make sure that applications go early, and therefore they have a greater chance of getting and securing those top applications. So here are some time frames for parents just to be aware, because parents like to ask me questions of what are the deadlines. So you can see, second year of A-level, September, October, your children are going to be stressed. Deadlines are looming. They have interviews, but we prepare early. The summer before, I'm telling them to prepare the personal statements. We're getting them the support with collaboration of Maybex as well. Also, just to say, super curricular. My students have just looked at me. They know straight away. It is a activity that the child is doing that really highlights that they are interested in the subject they wish to apply for. Okay, it's not just swimming and badminton and tennis, no. A supercurricular activity highlights and demonstrates to the admissions tutors of top universities, of any university, that the child has gone above and beyond outside the classroom to ensure that they are exploring their passion. And that is what we do in-house. Every single student is given the opportunity to pick one or two super curriculum activities throughout the 2 years to really develop those skills of analytical skills, critical thinking, intellectual curiosity is the number one skill that universities are looking for. They don't want lazy students, they want ambitious students that are going to go above and beyond to explore. And we curate that and give that opportunity to our students. But they also do charity. 2 years ago, the students ran for 24 hours. They ran for 24 hours, they did laps for 24 hours, and they raised money for charity. But it's developing that collaboration, community spirit, empathy, which is very important. They have lots of festivals. We celebrate all the festivals in our common room. We have the parties, but we also do national conferences. And here, our students went to KTJ and they won one of the Oxbridge Engineering Debates, which is a national competition. I was very proud of them. So they are collaborating with many different schools, and they have those opportunities. I'm going to ask our Year 13 students to slowly make their way over to the floor, please. And this is what our students say. They love being here. They love the opportunities. Every year when I give my goodbye speech in the assembly, I can't deliver that speech because it makes me so sad, but it's tears of happiness because I know that these children are prepared for the future. The adaptability, the flexibility, the intellectual curiosity is going to help them achieve their dreams over the next 10, 20, 30, 100 years, hopefully. With that, I would like to introduce Alicia, Elena, Amir, Jinhan, and Umar, who have kindly volunteered to speak about the opportunities that they've had and answer any questions from our wonderful parents. So that's all from me. The date for the A-Level Open Day and Scholarship Awards will be in November. It is first come, first serve. It will be up to 80% for those students that are achieving top academic outcomes. This year we've had quite an overwhelming amount. So it really is, and the priority is my students here. I want the students here to benefit from these wonderful opportunities that we're giving. We will send out more information, but I'm going to hand over to this wonderful crowd. Parents, this is practice for tomorrow. They are delivering their manifestos and their head boy and head girl election speeches in assembly tomorrow. So please feel free to really ask them some difficult questions. So I'm going to hand over to you, and thank you very much. If you have any more questions, please do let me know. Thank you. Over to you. Any questions?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alina Kim. I'm from South Korea, and tomorrow I'm running for the school president. So we are going for a hacker and they're going for a hat boy. I got straight A's this year for my A levels, so I got academic excellence, and I also also have a lot of work experience. For example, I used to work at one of the prestigious law firms as well. And yeah, so parents can vote at the reception at the parents' booth. So my name is Elena, so please vote for me.
This is fascinating. Yeah, journey to politics. Elena, I'm just going to actually ask parents, do you have any questions for our A-level soon-to-be graduates, because they will all be leaving us in a couple of months, in terms of, anything you'd like to know about this program? Please feel free to ask them. Any questions? You're not here to just give your speeches, by the way. Great. It's a great forum, though, and I say this with complete pride that young 17, 18-year-olds can stand in front of adults and have the confidence to just possibly sway some votes her way. As a politician here, definitely. But these are the opportunities that I give to the students. I want them to be speaking to parents and speaking to external guests and be collaborative, because this is something that's going to really help them when they have their interviews in the next couple of months. But does anyone genuinely have any questions?
I have a question. There are many academic institutions that offers A-level. So why did they choose GPU over the rest?
Why are we different?
No, why did they choose GPU?
Yes, of course. Yes, please feel free to.
Well, this is the only school that provides a 2-year program. Other schools provide 1.5 year and actually less. So we have more time to prepare for our exams, as well as here is more individualized. So there are the ratio of teachers per students per teacher is less. So the teachers get to know us more personalized.
If you don't mind if I elaborate on that, yes, I agree with the more personalized teaching, and also this 2-year program is very helpful because other schools, of course, less time, but also the support systems for your uni applications, for your child's uni applications in the future after the A-level program is provided by Ms. Raman is very helpful, truthfully.
It's not just me.
So when you say 2 years, it's 24 months?
It's 24 months, yeah.
Right.
Well, a little bit less. It's 5 tests actually. So the end term is examination based. Yeah.
So like they finish year 11 in August, right?
Yeah.
So they start year 11
Straight away.
straight away. So
Yeah.
they finish like
They finish in July. They finish in July. So the 1st of July is their holiday for year 11s, and then they have the summer to go and be free or go and do an internship, because we provide that for year 11 students as well. So when my daughter is year 11 or son's year 11, they're going to go on a 2-week internship placement. Absolutely. I encourage all parents to do the same. They need to have the exposure, but we provide that in-house with our year 11s as well if they wish to. But then yes, they finish in June, and June they start mid-August. Yes.
because I did all 30 years ago, so they only had me.
Wow, I'm really shocked that you did that in 18 months. I mean, yeah, we, in the UK as well, traditionally, UK built the A-levels and it was 2 years. My dad did A-levels like 60 years ago, he's in his 80s, from England, and he spent 2 years doing his A-levels. In fact, they were really difficult then because all of the exams were at the end of the 2 years. I was the first year that had year 1, half of your exams, year 2, the other half. And take it from me and the students here, they appreciate having the exams first and then knowing where they are. So now, every single one of them, all mathematicians here, they have worked out what they need to get their A stars and A's, correct?
So that means you do your first exam 12 months after you start?
Yes, so they start in August, they have the first set of exams in June, between April to June the following year. They get their results in August, and then they start in August again into their second year, and then they do the exams at the end. Yeah, so they have that data, which is really quite significant and makes a very big difference. Our A-level results are outstanding.
So that process applies to any case that you go to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So any subject, unless you insist. So some students want to do the 18-month program and some join a little bit later and they can. However, if Alicia doesn't mind, Alicia is a Singaporean student who started a little bit later, but she has been given the opportunity to do her AS examinations now in October, November. But she will still then have that time to break up her, how many exams? 24 exams? 20 exams. So she's doing 10 now and 10 later. I'm sure we'd rather do 10 in 1 year and 10 in the next year. Yes. Any other questions, parents?
I'm still confused about the last part of the qualification. If a student fails at A level, is there any countermeasures or?
Okay, so this is why we do the 2-year program. So they retake, yes. So for example, in their first year, and we do have this because not everyone can understand the big jump. There's a big jump between GCSE and A levels actually. So some students don't do as well in their first year examinations. Okay, so for example, these guys, they started in August 2024. They sat their exams 2025 summer. So if their results are not what they are expecting, then in October 2025 they can resit those examinations, and that will then give them that extra boost so that at least they can achieve a minimum grade of maybe C's to get into their university destinations. Plus, I'm quite clever with how we manipulate the variables of university destinations. I say 2 top universities for all of them, 2 in between, and 1 really kind of, I've had a bad day in my exam, but I will at least go to university. That's the way I recommend. Yeah. So they have, in the first year, they have that safety blanket of resitting. Other than medicine, dentistry, and vet medicine, I have to be very clear, parents. If you are applying for those courses, no resits, no fails. They will not take you. I'm really sorry. So medicine, dentistry, vet medicine, first sitting, first time, that's it. And I wouldn't want a doctor that's been failing their A-levels to, you know, do open heart surgery on me. I'm sorry to say, I would not want this. Okay, so that's the only, it's the only caveat to that. Any other questions? Questions for our student panel? No? Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow. Off you go. You can
Hi,
go
I'm
home.
Jane. Please vote for me. I got 4 A's as well. Please vote for me. Thank you very much. Bye.
Cheeky.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of fun happening here. Okay, thank you so much, parents. We will, year 11 parents, we will send out an email about the open day and the scholarship application process, because we do have that. Please do keep an eye on your emails. Thank you so much. If at any time you want to come and see me, then just drop me an email. And yeah, I'm happy to answer questions. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.